Hello, people of the world. This is the Braus Haus. I'm Braus, also known as Bruce, and with me I've got my friend Inty today. Say hello, Inty.
What up, internet?
So, we got a couple things to discuss today. I figure where we'll start her off is Inty, have you heard about the Rosetta spacecraft?
I've heard the name in passing coming up on my news feeds lately, but I have no idea what it actually is.
So what this is, it's a couple of firsts for humanity, but it's also a really cool space exploration bit. The Rosetta space probe was launched in 2008, I think, or 2004, and it's been in space flying towards an asteroid for 10 years, trying to catch up.
Oh, this is the one that just caught up to the comet recently, didn't it?
Absolutely.
Today or yesterday?
Yeah, like yesterday, literally.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so this thing, I've got all the information up here on Wiki. It has already, as of today's date, it did its first Earth flyby on March 4th, and then it passed by Mars on the 25th of February in 2007, and then it flew by Earth a second time, and then it flew by, I think, a different asteroid, actually, 2867 Steins. Came back around to Earth in 2009, flew around another asteroid, went into hibernation for 30 some months, and then came out of hibernation in time to decelerate to fall into orbit in the 6th of August around this one asteroid, or comet, I guess it is.
So, explain to me exactly what the purpose of this is. It's catching up to asteroids.
Yeah.
And how is this helping anybody?
Well, it's interesting because there's a couple different facets to it. The first one is that it's proof of concept that we can actually do this like humans, because the math involved is pretty incredible. And so the fact that it worked pretty much perfectly the first time that we tried is a good sign. But the initial goal is to have for the probe to orbit the asteroid and to put a lander down on the surface of the asteroid that then allow us to tell what it's made of, possibly how old it is, if there's any organic chemistry going on, or if there's any on the really outside edge, like frozen spores from some type of fungus, or something to do with basic bacteria.
So now that they've had some success with this, like, where are they gonna go from here? Do you know? Like, are they?
Well, I don't. I know for sure that the actual experiment is going to involve the pretty much escorting the comet around the sun. That's going to be November to December, pretty much an entire year. And one of the things they're looking for is to see what actually happens to these comets while they're going around the sun and being heated up and melting and causing that tail that we all know so well when they pass by close to Earth. One of the really cool things about this is because it's kind of a proof of concept that we can do this pretty reliably, I would say, if the first time that we did it more or less it worked. That sets us up for a lot of different things, and kind of taking the two different extremes, like something that would be really awesome and something that would be really terrible. This could potentially be technology we can employ to help us avoid some sort of collision. Because if a comet was coming in, if you bump it 2 years out before it's going to hit us, that's a huge deflection when you multiply it over time, and you don't need a lot of energy to change the momentum of a comet.
I'm guessing there's no kind of footage or anything that they have of this going on, do they?
I don't think they have footage, but there was like, where was it here? I'm just going to Rosetta it again, because there's like a live thing that kind of shows the path it's taken.
And whose project is this? This is NASA's?
Actually, no, this is the European Space Program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So let me just bring this up here. I think it's one of these last little butts. Here it is. So the other really cool thing about this is that it kind of opens us up to a proof of concept for, think about like asteroid mining. Because these things, when they're in these intense collisions, it generates a ridiculous amount of heat, and that can form new elements in the center of the comets. And so, well, that's kind of some cool music. Let's just get rid of that. So what you can end up being able to do essentially is determine what's inside the comet, and if it matches some type of mineral that we need here, like rare earth metals or the platinum group or gold, silver, aluminum, pretty much anything, we could potentially land a spacecraft on a comet and mine that shit and then bring it back.
How long have you been following this?
I a little bit in 2004, but I mean, I was like 18 or 19, sorry, so I wasn't really following anything too closely. And then in 2008, it came. I think it was 2008. There was one of these years. It's on here that someone actually mistook the Rosetta spacecraft for an actual comet, like something, and they were worried because it did a really close flyby of Earth. Where is it here? Yeah, here it is. So the second Earth flyby occurred on the 13th of November. Sorry, it was 2007. And in 2007, as it approached Earth for a flyby, the spacecraft was briefly designated as a minor planet. As minor planet 2007 VN84 due to it being misidentified as an asteroid. So we thought it was actually an asteroid. And because it was coming in like super duper close to the Earth, I think it was 5,000 kilometers or something. Because it was coming so close, they were like, holy crap, if this thing is big enough, it could potentially spiral in and like hit us. So there was this minor kind of hubbub that hit the news, and then when it came out that it was a spacecraft, I was like, oh yeah, that's the thing I was following in 2004. So I started looking up information on it again.
Well, I'm curious, is there anything that says how much this has cost them over the course of the project?
I don't know, let's take a look. How much? Oh my goodness. Wow. Be nice if I could type.
Speaking of space, did you watch Gravity? I haven't talked to you in a long time. I don't even know what you've been watching lately.
Yeah, no kidding. Actually, I just finished. What the heck? How much has the Rosetta mission? I just finished Breaking Bad. Or sorry, not finished. I'm on episode 10 in season 5.
I thought you were watching that with me a few years ago as it was going on. Or did you just pick that up recently?
I just, like, literally 2 months ago, my problem was someone told me that Breaking Bad, you really had to pay close attention to it, or else you'd miss vital details, and then it kind of, like, makes the plot not as good. So I didn't want to watch it while I was, like, playing games on my computer on my other monitor or whatever. So a couple months ago, I didn't have anything to watch, and I was like, screw this. Like, why don't I just start watching Breaking Bad? So I did, and I pretty much, like, powerhoused it in the last 3 weeks.
And what are your thoughts?
I really like the show. Like, I think it's really well written. The plot is very interesting, and kind of, it's interesting how they do that, how they kind of change the characters around. Like, at first, spoiler alert, anyone who hasn't actually seen it, by the way.
You should have by now.
Yeah, yeah, seriously. You know what, this isn't spoilers, this is justice. That's what you're experiencing right now.
You're like the Punisher.
Yeah. So I thought at first that Jesse was just like a little shithead. Like, I was like, you know what, I don't want to... Almost to the point that an episode that was like heavy Jesse, I was like, man, come on, like, no one's actually like that. You know, like, it was too unrelatable, right? Like, no one's actually that retarded. But as the show...
Try hard, yeah.
Exactly, right? And as the show progressed, I found that I went from saying, come on, Jesse, to, come on, Walt. Like, there's so many times, especially towards the end, where that man just gets greedy, like,
and,
super greedy.
The chances that he has, and he goes the opposite way. Just,
yeah, man.
Man, Walt, really?
Like, seriously, when they have a chance to get rid of the methylene that they just stole from a frickin' train with no evidence at all for $5 million, and he's like,
and
no.
Then, he ties up,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, and when I must say though, the way that they kill off characters in that show is amazing. Like, it blew my mind. It's so well timed, and it's just like at the the wrong moment. You're just like, like, why right now?
Yeah, and none of them are like really overly gory or anything for the main characters that die or anything. Like, they don't try to shock you with it in that kind of like visual way, but just they get you story wise.
Exactly. Like, I mean, look at do you watch Sons of Anarchy?
I watched up to season 3 or 4. Like, when did they go to Ireland?
Oh, okay, yeah. So, like,
that's when I left.
Yeah, no kidding. It only gets better. They're doing the last season this year.
Mm-hmm.
But it gets more
I just saw the
intense.
trailer for the last season.
Nice. Yeah, you see, and with that show, like, when they kill someone, they really kill them. Like, it's not just like, well, in Breaking Bad, a good example is when, even towards the end when he kills Mike, actually, he just like shoots him in the guts, and then he drives off. He walks down to the edge of the river, sits there. They chat for 2 minutes, and then he dies. Like it's not exactly. Shut up and let me die. Yeah. Oh, so one of the other interesting things about watching Breaking Bad so long after so many other people have seen it is that that the kind of like the culture of Breaking Bad is well established on the internet, and a lot of people are like talking about it. And the one thing that always gets me is the one episode where Jesse says "science, bitch."
Oh, and that meme now.
Yeah, but he didn't actually say "bitch." Is the thing.
Oh, really? Didn't he?
Yeah, no, he did not.
Oh.
I'd look it up on YouTube, but I would probably get pulled off of Ustream in that case.
Yeah, everyone's cracking down, aren't they?
Yeah, seriously. Well, it's all the copyright stuff.
Just today announced, that there's
third-party audio, so no more listening to Winamp while I'm like putting something else on there. It's games only, which is interesting because that's dangerous territory for them to go into. Like even Twitch, right? I mean, any of these companies, because if your base is set up on you're streaming what you're doing, and now you have to start restricting what you're doing, it's almost like undercutting your main business model.
Yeah. Luckily, though, there are a lot of even if you look around on YouTube or SoundCloud or anything, there's a lot of good artists who do just royalty-free things just for the sake of getting their name out there, and that you can donate towards them. So there. I mean, at least there's an upside to all those like independent artists having a chance to do something now if they can't use any other kind of music.
Sick. That's awesome. All right. Nice. That's something my buddy's making up for our cover page.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Who's your buddy?
His name is Reed. He's a good buddy from work.
Reed.
Yeah, I know him outside of work too.
Does he work at the Baxter building?
No, the one right on the corner, the the main call center.
Oh, his doesn't he have isn't he married to a girl named Sue?
No. No, Reed's single.
John?
No, I don't think so.
Can't stretch his limbs really far?
I don't know about that. To be honest with you, I've never asked.
I'm just making it's a fantastic
does his nose turn blue?
No.
Okay, well then that's definitely not my guy. Yeah. What were we talking about? All right, Breaking Bad.
Yeah, Breaking Bad.
So.
Breaking Bad, and how much was that cost?
Yeah, no freaking. Oh yeah. Back to that. So the Rosetta estimated cost 1.3 billion euros, so 1.9 billion dollars with a B.
That's actually not all that much considering like how much like $1 billion gets thrown around for stuff on Earth every day. Like
you know what?
Companies buying each other go for like $1 billion.
That's a really good point, actually. Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, well, this is basically like round up to $2 billion. I guess that would probably be American. I'm pretty sure. So okay, what do you think they spend $2 billion on in the U.S.? Let's just take a really quick look and get a comparison.
I think if I remember here, I'm just gonna try to look at it on my own screen. But I think WhatsApp, when Facebook bought it, sold for I think it was like one or 2 billion.
Let's see. Here, this is. Oh, look at that! There's a Forbes thought of the day: Perseverance and audacity generally win.
Oh no! WhatsApp was bought for $19 billion.
Whoa!
WhatsApp.
Okay. Wow. So just one messaging service, $19 billion.
Yeah, and they're like almost $20 billion is getting traded around for digital stuff, and and people have to fight, to get budgets for that, $2 billion to get
no kidding
a rocket in the air.
Absolutely. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine sitting in on that meeting and being like, okay, we need money to do something that no human has ever done before. How much can be raised? And they're like, well, maybe $1 billion. Maybe.
Yeah. And that's so small. Like you look at, I'm not trying to get into politics or anything, but I'm just saying like military budgets, like.
Let's look this up. Let's look up Canadian Forces military budget.
Yeah, let's look it up. Nobody knows anything about the Canadian Forces.
Well, of course not. I mean, all we really do is guard the camps. You know, I mean, maybe not. You know what? Maybe there's a
Guard the camps, protect the marmalade.
exactly budget of $20 billion. So Canada's military budget is 10 times per year what they spent on Rosetta over 10 years.
So Canada's military is worth WhatsApp.
Yeah.
That's so pathetic.
You know what? In a weird way, that kind of makes me feel good.
There's no conflict going on here, and I guess we don't need to spend all that much. That's fantastic.
It's true. I mean, we just do our part in, over in was that the United Nations? We do our part over there. You know, we help people all over. I actually don't know a lot about the Canadian military. I shouldn't talk shit.
Oh no, I have no respect for soldiers or anything. I just think you're a South Park fan, right?
Oh yeah.
You've seen the Royal Wedding episode?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Even though I live in this country, that's still like how I think about this country.
It's true. It was a pretty apt description. Actually, did you ever play the South Park game?
Oh yeah, 8-bit Canada.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
That was hilarious.
Oh man, yeah. Like it's so terrible. Like you get was that from dire wolves? You get dire AIDS.
We actually, I just finished that. I think it was only about a month ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bought it brand new instead of during the Steam Summer Sale, much to my personal chagrin.
Oh, that game was worth every penny, no matter how much you paid for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So good. Oh.
I made good use of the Rochambeau, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
That was
Dude.
staple. I think I started literally every fight in that game from the moment I got it.
That's perfect. No kidding. Who is your favorite tag along character?
I think I'm just trying to think now because I know I didn't really care for Butters because he was so chancy.
That's funny.
Maybe Stan.
Yeah.
I like soldiers.
No.
I'd probably say Stan.
Yeah.
I'm probably blanking right now. Who did you like?
Butters. Yeah.
Really?
Well, you know what?
He was cool. He definitely had some awesome things to do.
Well, it was the Captain Chaos thing, the one where the wheel spins and then you pick which power up you're gonna get. Yeah. Sometimes they're shitty, but you could time it right. I got the was it the shield one every single time.
No,
so
that was just an extra thing of Butters. For some reason, yeah. I thought Captain Chaos and Butters were you would swap out. You got them at different points as different characters. But no, yeah, Butters was the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I like how it was the anime episode style one, where it was walks out and it's so perfectly stylized.
Shin
yeah.
Pokemon.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Oh yeah, that was one thing I wanted to mention to you too. Pacific Rim.
The movie.
Yeah. Doesn't that remind you of a stripped down, terrible, redheaded stepchild bastardized version of Evangelion?
Yeah, exactly. And I know it's so weird too because I love Guillermo del Toro and everything, and the movie was really cool to watch.
Yeah.
But it just the way some people got I just don't get the fandom for it.
Yeah.
I don't really get how you where the hook is other than cool looking robots, but the robots have no personality and they're really awkward to control. I thought that was kind of a stupid way to do anything.
Even a lot of the characters didn't have any personality.
Yeah, they didn't. The Asian ninja girl. Not the race, but that's exactly how they portrayed her to me. It was just all she is Asian ninja girl.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know what the funny part about it is? I think the people that really, really like that movie are probably people that haven't seen Evangelion.
I think so too.
Because if you've seen Evangelion, this movie is like a shadow. The depth of development between the driver and the actual EVA, and the battles, the demons and their powers, everything about it just outclasses this modern movie.
Yeah, it just, and I even because I don't watch anime much anymore, but I did try, or I did start up Gundam Wing a few months ago again. Mm-hmm. And even just I would have taken the first 3 episodes of Gundam Wing, I think, over watching Pacific Rim again. I just the action wasn't that cool. I thought they moved really slow. They looked cool, but I don't know, the fights were actually kind of boring to me in a way. Mm-hmm.
No, for sure. And you know what? They were ungainly. And once again, I think it may be because we're judging it based on I don't know if this is going to get us pulled down for showing the IMDb. Probably not. But so Pacific Rim was made in 2013. The Neon Genesis Evangelion, which is the one that I watched, is from 1995.
I think
So,
I think I watched the movie when it came out when I was in, I think I was in early
hmm
high school or something, like junior high.
wow, literally gospel of a new century. That's kind of interesting.
Hmm.
I think that's the Japanese. But yeah, like hands down, like beats the crap out of Pacific Rim. And I think the thing that bothered me the most about it was how they tried to they tried to talk about that like connection between
The link up.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I thought that was just a total waste of time. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Nobody cares about this because they never went anywhere with it really.
Well, exactly. They didn't. I don't know, and it really feels like they didn't maximize. You know, like there was so much more they could have done.
It's weird too because I didn't hate the movie, but I think that's what pissed me off even more. It's just because it was just kind of there.
hmm
I just came out and I was like, oh, okay. I wasn't even like, I couldn't even get entertained by being angry at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I guess that's that time of my life, and we're all gonna go home now.
Absolutely. You know something interesting? We're broadcasting, but we're not actually on the Ustream for some reason. Give me 1 sec. I'm just gonna stop it really quick.